thanks for watching, and to answer the question from earlier, you can in fact beat Pokemon Fire Red just using Gohan, and I did it in about, give or take...
Allow me to show you what the Saiyan can really do.
Well, I'm back. Hello anyone who is watching this, my name is Ryo Panda, and right now I'm going to attempt to beat Pokemon Fire Red with only Vegeta. Now, let's get through this. If you couldn't tell by the, game play you're seeing right now, this is a ROM hack called Dragon Ball Z Team Training. And to point this out now, this is not the original, this is more like of an updated version that came out not that long ago. Which, yeah, is a bit harder than the original, but, let's get some things out the way now. This is, as you can tell, Pokemon have been switched with Dragon Ball characters like Vegeta, Goku, and Gohan. And in this ROM hack, things are different. Some things you have to note now is that this doesn't work like the original at all, and some things are just kinda different. For instance, the types in this game aren't really the same as other ones. While in the original, if you use a fighting type move like, Rock Punch, on the dark type, it will do double the damage. But in this, everything's been reworked. So, what you think would be effective normally, kind of isn't. And if you couldn't tell, we are going to only be using Vegeta for this entire run, but it's only going to be used for combat. Because for some reason this guy can destroy planets, but for some reason he can't lend a TM for cut to cut down a very small ample tree. Now we're going to talk about the main man himself, Vegeta, and here he is and here are his stats. His stats aren't all that bad, they're pretty much average in almost everything right now. His special attack is pretty good, but later on in the run you'll see that's kinda not important. But yeah, this is, pretty solid stats all around. But I wanted to, put a little side tangent and compare it to Squirtle, who somehow is technically stronger than Vegeta. I'm just saying, technically from this standpoint, Squirtle can solo.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
After picking Vegeta and Mimarava have a little battle, and thanks to him having just an above average AI, I'm able to win it pretty easily. And to be honest with you, I don't even know why, but he's just a hater. He just comes here, picks me of all people to fight, and loses. And yeah, shortly after beating my rival though, I have to start training on the Aiders here, because the Cybermen and Bear Thief are round levels 8 to 9 usually, 6 to 7 on the lower end, but they just kinda low-key just beat Vegeta up somehow. So that's why I just, you'll see me slowly and surely killing most of the Aider population, but single-handedly. After that, I go to meet my rival in Route 22, and him being a hater like usual, he challenges me to a battle for no reason, but he somehow was able to get a weirdly higher level Bear Thief, just in the same route, level 9. But it wasn't that hard. I use power up every now and then, which all it does is increases your attack, which doesn't really mean much in the beginning of the game, but it does help me defeat them pretty easily. And yeah, that's really it. But somehow I beat them very easily first try, didn't need a revive, but you could tell I was out there farming the Aiders, because I am level 10 at this point. Vegeta was going crazy attacking those poor Aiders. After defeating my rival, I went to the local North Forest, and during my, little adventure with Vegeta, Vegeta was able to evolve into a certain Super Saiyan. And if you're wondering what his stats are, I'll put them on the screen right now. And to be honest, right now, having that much special attack isn't really all that impressive. You'll find out later in the run, but he's gonna learn a very specific move that straight up makes this run go from hard to just very easy very soon. But just keep watching to find out what move that is. Leaving the forest, I went to go to the Saiyan Realm and challenge the gym leader there. And if you couldn't tell from the Dragon Ball whole ROM hack, it's been replaced. Instead of the Rock Gym led by Brock, it's now Yajirobe using a low-class warrior team with a few cameos, such as Vegeta's own dad, and Super Saiyan Bardock, but we don't make it there to see it. Unfortunately, Vegeta just can't single-handedly solo in a team of 4, and over time he just gets beaten and withered down, but that's gonna change soon. In this ROM hack, the one thing that they did change is they added random trainers in almost every route that do add some form of a mini challenge. These are just random trainers. They usually have a full team of 6 who are above stronger than the trainers you would find normally in the route. And I'm going back to the North Forest to challenge this kid here because he has an item that he's holding hostage. It's the leftovers item. This item is basically gonna help us win the entire run. All it does is it heals you a percentage of the HP that you need throughout every end of your turn. So the longer the battle gets, Vegeta should be able to heal back to full in theory, but that doesn't usually happen. But this guy here has a full team of 6, but it doesn't really matter because we're able to beat him in the end. But this is one of the key items that will be needed for this run to even function. After getting the item for Vegeta, me and him go challenge Jadrobi a second time, but this time I start off differently by using 2 power-ups to increase Vegeta's attack 2 times, which I might explain how that works later on in the video, but that's one of the main strategies I'll be using for this run. But thanks to his very abysmal terrible Raditz who just kept spamming Saiyan power, I was able to just kill him in just 2 hits with 2 Gallic guns, and then it became just a 1 to 2 shot range fight, because after this I began just blasting. Vegeta just keeps punching, and that's really it for this fight. It wasn't that really difficult, but yeah, he got to beat up his dad and Kakarot's father. After that, I went through Route 3 to, get to Mount Moon, and thanks to all the random trainers who just liked to fight me for no apparent reason, Vegeta was able to evolve one more time, which is another neat thing about the ROM hack. Random characters can just evolve more than 3 times usually. And yeah, I did kind of spoil it, but this Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta doesn't look like he has any insane stat differences, but it is cool. I think it's just like a 5% increase to his, attack. He only gets like a 5 attack, I think, and like 5 special attack. That's really it. I don't really know the stats for it. It's not on the wiki. It's nowhere else. I just thought I'd mention it now. So if you're wondering how he transformed again, now you know. But yeah, he got another transformation. I think it's really cool. Before I could even enter Mount Moon, I had to fight this random guy who's just guarding the entrance for no apparent reason. But like I did with the gym battle, I spammed a few power-ups to get more stacks in my attack. And thanks to that, I was able to get a full 6 stacks thanks to Shigesh being an idiot, and I was able to just straight up one-shot the entire team, which is basic punches. Well, I won't say one-shot, I did 2-shot Fasha every now and then. But yeah, Vegeta even tries to learn the move Boost, which is just the worst version of power-up, because he actually gets slower, which you never want to run. But thanks to that, I was able to just straight up win just by punching his entire team to death. And yeah, that's pretty cool. There are multiple trainers like this, but I won't be going over through all of them. This is probably one of the few ones I'll mention. After making my way through Mount Moon, you will now see a very interesting guy here. And in this version of the ROM hack, or Pokemon version, whatever you want to call it, we have our version of Team Rocket, which has been replaced with the Pilaf gang. So, if you're wondering who this dog guy is, it's one of the main cast of the Pilaf gang. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool that they did all of this. But I beat them up relatively easily. There's almost nothing that really stands a chance against this version of Vegeta right now. And yeah, I even beat up the random scientist that was here. I mean, he was literally just no difficulty. I mean, I don't even remember the fight or the footage for it. I just know I did it. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that now. And this was just an easy fight. Don't even worry about it. The Pilaf, gang has almost no good Pokemon fighters. I mean, like straight up throughout the entire run, none of them have any good ones. Straight up. I think only one that has a good one is like just a random one with like a level 450 cell or something. That's it. That's spoiling it, but I'm telling you it now. Before you can make it through and get out the cave, you need to fight this random trainer here, and I'll be honest with you, he's one of the more challenging trainers you'll see in the entire run, and that's for good reason. He starts off with a really scummy strategy, which is just straight up get one of his Pokemon to use Explode and just basically kill me. There's nothing I can really do about that. I mean, he's just a better guy, I guess. But I did struggle a little bit. I realized a little early on that I kind of just need to level up Vegeta a bit more. It's one of those fights where you just have to do it. And you can even tell I got unlucky since the guy thunderbolts me and paralyzes me. Which is just straight up unlucky. But after losing twice in a row, I went to go fight the random Nappas in the entire area to start training and whatnot. I mean, thankfully Vegeta can one-shot them multiple times, but it was really annoying dying to him twice. Because now I need to make it through all the way back and fight him again. Just so I can, win. But yeah, Vegeta, had to kill Nappas and whatnot over and over for the course of like 5-10 minutes. But then I went to go get back at him. Also, I even used one of the holy waters, which are holy waters are just rare candies, so don't even think about it too much. And yeah, it was really fun doing it. But after I leveled up Vegeta a little bit, I went to go proceed to get my rematch again. Oh, and if you guys are curious about Vegeta's stats, we'll see him really soon actually. And this is where I mentioned that I couldn't tell if there was a really big much of a difference. I don't even think there is much of a difference between Super Saiyan 1 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2, besides maybe a 3 more stats given out all around, but that's really it. So far, this is what we're rocking: Punch, Power Up, Big Bang, and Gallic Gun. But let's get to it. We go to challenge him again, and this is where we just start up just in the same strategy. We start powering up so we can do more damage to him over time. But early in the run, I'm like, screw it, let me just punch him, and I did. And with just 2 power-ups, we're able to do really insane damage for this beginning of the run, which is just how important stat boosting moves were. I mean, as a kid, I would never use them since that's pretty dumb. The move doesn't do damage, but you know how it goes. But thanks to the stat powering moves, we're able to just straight up bully this guy to submission. However, I will admit, I don't think I'll be doing this all the time. We only have, spoilers, we only have 2 more of these guys who are just straight up a pain in the ass. But we'll see when it happens. After that, I go challenge the second gym, and this gym is based around Namek Saga, if you couldn't tell by the Namekian. And yeah, we're going to face a lot of Friezas in this. But I try starting the strategy off by doing 2 power-ups to get my stats really high up, but he just blows himself up using an explosion, and then I have to challenge him again. But this time, you won't be surprised, it's a full team against my one Vegeta. We do the same strat again, which is just power up, but you'll see that it doesn't really matter. We got 2 off, but then he just starts healing, and this is basically the longest this guy that ever fought me. And then we see a level 35 Frieza, and yeah, he was able to just pretty much easily beat me in one shot. After that though, I'm going to go challenge my rival next to Nugget Bridge. And again, he has a full team, but this time I'm able to just basically bully him to submission. I power up basically on his entire goddamn Piccolo. Eventually, he just beats me up because I got too, hungry for it. I got too many stats. And I had to go back to the lobby. After that, I started bullying the random locals in the grass. And I began to just straight up, taking them out all but one by one. And thanks to the little farming, we will now, re-challenge our rival. And this is where we get to level 31. When we get to level 31, Vegeta learns the move Zenkai. And if you guys have ever played any form of Pokemon, Zenkai is very similar to Belly Drum. And what Belly Drum does is it halves your HP, but in exchange, your attack stat is matched. And if you don't know how big of a deal that is, it basically makes it so Pokemon like Marrow can just straight up one-shot some Pokemon at them. And if you don't know, if you need a better example, when you max out your attack stat by this much, it's basically multiplying your attack stat by 4 times, which usually will guarantee a 1 to 2 shot range in almost every single Pokemon in the Pokemon world. You can even ask this guy called Wolfie, and he knows very well how this good of a move works. I recommend you guys subscribe to him, he makes really good Pokemon content. But besides the glaze, we're gonna go and re-challenge our rival one more time. After Vegeta learns the sacred, basically belly drum of the game, he basically goes on to basically defeat the entire rival's team with pretty easy succession in my opinion. And I won't make anybody be forced to watch the entire gameplay of it normally because I'm not that evil sadly. But I just Zenkai, Vegeta gets low, and he basically stays low the entire game, But thanks to leftovers, we're able to basically just beat this guy down in 1 to 2 hits every single time, without question. And even when the Great Ape did use Intimidate, which lowers, there was an attack by like 1 stage, it doesn't matter, it's too late. Don't worry, the same things happened to the next gym leader. And thanks to Vegeta being really strong and really powerful, he was able to just straight up Zenkai and just, again, beat down my opponent in 1 to 2 hits like usual. Now don't get me wrong, I think this guy could have won if he just, didn't explode immediately, but whatever. Maybe if he, wanted to use Explosion, he could have done that, but no, I guess he was feeling different today. But after that, Vegeta just straight up beats him really easily. Don't even worry about it, guys. After that, I went to go fight my rival in the SSN, and just like before, I was able to really curse stomp him easily thanks to the power of Zenkai. And even though he got me low, I was able to kill him in 1 to 2 shots like I did previously, and I won again. And this is going to be the entire run basically, in my opinion. Shortly after that, I went to go challenge the gym leader for my 3rd badge, and thanks to my Vegeta being as strong as he is earlier, he's able to Zenkai and just straight up 1 to 2 shot the entire team, because I think Android 13 has Endure or whatever, battle armor, which is basically just another way for saying 30, which guarantees you won't die to 1 hit. But yeah, thanks to that, everything's fine. Also, you guys even may have seen the cameo of my future HM slaves. Don't worry, they're just trying to be HM slaves, don't worry. They won't be used in battle ever. After that, I went to go, backtrack a bit, because I need to go to a certain cave that's dark as heck. But yeah, during my little adventure, Vegeta was able to evolve again. And this is the interesting part. You'll probably wonder what it is. And he, evolves into Super Saiyan 3. Something that doesn't happen in the canon. Well, not unless we watch Daima, which came out, I think, about a month after I recorded all of this. And yeah, he was able to evolve. And I'm gonna show you the stats. They're actually pretty good, all things considered. I don't think they're even that crazy in everything, something else. But for a starter, this is actually kind of, pretty terrible. 96 attack, 80% defense. I thought that was pretty crazy seeing that. But don't worry, he'll get stronger later on. After making my way through the worst possible thing in the world of Pokemon history, this dark cave that no one wants to memorize, I then have to fight a certain trainer. And this is the first time we will ever encounter the double battle system. And this is where things get kinda weird. For some reason in this ROMHACK, it's kinda bugged in a way. For some reason when you have only one fighter, which is what I'm doing, only Vegeta runs, it clones them, and now you have 2. However, if one of them dies, you lose the match regardless. And that's one thing that happens in this encountering the scene really quickly. After that, after the little explanation I gave you guys, we go to actually fight the real thing. And as you can tell, there are 2 Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas. And if you're wondering what I did the same thing. I used Zenkai and just straight up on both of them actually. Which you could just do something weird, because if you do Zenkai on both of them, technically it, ends the other one, but what's left over is they heal back to, it's like 10 HP I think. And we just proceed to 1-shot the entire team. Well, 1 to 2 shot I believe. And yeah, that's really what you do in double battles. However, just, you'll see later on that, stuff happens bad. But yeah, very easy run so far. And yeah, the Zenkai was, 100%, too much for this run. However, the minute I leave the cave, I get jumped by this random guy camping it. But just like I told you before, Zenkai is straight up too OP, and I just basically punch him down to death 1 to 2 hits per time. But since these guys are Great Apes, they're basically pseudo-legendaries, but yeah, I just hit up 1-shot them. It's another Team Bardock team, which is cool, I guess. But at this point, Zenkai plus, Vegeta's just already decent stats, it basically means a 1-shot to them all. And yeah, it was just 3 XP for me. After that side quest, I went to go fight the next gym, which, weirdly enough, they call as Boma, but I think this is Bra from the GT timeline, but hey, whatever floats your boat game. And this is another double battle, and this is probably the second to last one we will ever see in this run. But yeah, with 2 Vegetas going, Zenkai over and over, it's pretty easy. But this time around, I started differently. Instead of using 2 Zenkais and basically getting to 1 HP on one of them, all I did was I just straight up, energy punch the first one, and then the second one I used Zenkai.
But at the end of the day, it's basically just a one-shot rampage. And yeah, I was able to win very easily. Okay guys, stay with me, I'm gonna be a little fast this time around. After beating Bulma/Bulla, I go to beat the random Team Rocket grunts here, or as they're really called, the Pilaf gang, to get the key for the elevator. Then, I beat the Marin Man himself, Pilaf himself, in the battle to get a certain main key item to go to God's Tower. After I do that, I go challenge my rival. And as you can tell, I win very easily since the video came out. And, something else, I do the entire side quest of this entire thing, and I beat the quote-unquote Garlic Jr. thing that was scaring the dead zone and whatnot. And yeah, won. That's really it so far. And after that, I go to wake up using the rock ran out of time that Tapion uses to kill this Hirudegarn so I can get my route to do it. After that was a little fast, but yeah, that's what happened in like 2 hours. So yeah, pretty fun so far. So far, in my opinion, Vegeta has just been 1 to 2 shot almost everything in the game so far, but eventually that's gonna change.
After doing all the Hirudegarn stuff, I went to go challenge Bobby at the gym, and he, got kind of lucky, and he actually beat me for once. And after realizing that I'm just a tad bit weaker, I went to go use the Versus Secret that you find earlier on around Gym 3, and I used that to refight the same trainer, give or take it 5 times. And then I got my rematch, my run back, and I went to challenge Bobby again. This time around, I win very easily. But history repeats itself, because I then have to fight Mr. Roshi, and this time around, like Bobby, I lost the first time, and came back for round 2, and I basically 1 to 2 shot his entire team, which is really the story of this entire run. After that, I went to go challenge my rival back a few towns over. I beat him, then I have to beat Bobby, which was pretty easy. And then I challenged Mr. Hercule in a double battle, and thanks to double battles being kinda bugged in this game, I was able to jump him with my Vegetas and easily win. And yeah, that's so far just how this challenge is really going. Zenkai, 1 shot to 2 shot, win. Well, after beating Mr. Hercule, I went to go challenge Pilaf for the last and final time in this run. And just like every other gym battle after Frieza, I just used Zenkai and just 1 to 2 shot his entire team that seemingly has almost every important villain in the movies. But after that, I went to go challenge my rival, and just like Pilaf, I Zenkai'd and usually 1 to 2 shot his fighters, but the Great Up was the only one that seemingly tanked the most. But yeah, pretty much that's the entire cycle of his run. And yeah, this is just one of the most pretty powerful moves, Zenkai. After making my way through the entire Victory Road cave and whatnot, I am now at, seemingly the end of the challenge, at Dragon Plateau. I'm almost done. But before I even challenge them, I have to do a few things. I first go to use the Versus Secret to challenge the same person near Bobby's gym over and over to get a few more levels up. Just enough for it to be pretty much an even match. And after that, here are Vegeta's stats. Overall, nothing crazy. And to be honest, at this point in the game, in any normal ROMHACK or Pokemon game, he would be basically legendary at this point. And if you're wondering what his stats are, I have no idea. I can't find them. It'd be hard to find. But yeah, that's it. Time to go challenge the Elite Four. Now I'm challenging the East Tide, who is the first of the Elite Four. And, not to be that guy, but Vegeta is just able to steamroll this first fight relatively easily. Well, relatively the same level cap, and Vegeta had to move Zenkai, and during the course of the battle, I won 2 shots, all their fighters like usual, but this time around they heal, but it doesn't really matter because at the end of the fight, I get to the point where I'm basically at full HP, and I just bully their middle schooler, and that's why I win the first fight. I then challenged the South Sky to a battle, and it did take a little bit of effort to defend compared to before. His Goten can straight up one-shot me if he just goes for an attack, but luckily he wasn't really planning on one-shotting me, and Vegeta was able to relatively safely use Zenkai, and after that everything becomes a blur. Vegeta just proceeds to beat his entire team up with 1 to 2 hits, with 2 being when he healed. But yeah, right now Zenkai is, still the best move so far, and the reason this run is even possible without bullying and abusing after image. I then challenged the West Kai, and low-key now Zenkai is becoming kind of more of a risk and a detriment now, since at this point in the Elite Four, all of them can one-shot me. I mean, they should be able to one-shot me if they just go for an attacking move, which would really suck, and then I have to go back and do it all over again. But luckily, the West Kai wasn't able to one-shot Vegeta, and so far we're relatively going through this entire Elite Four, which is greed. But, ring, that's kind of foreshadowing. King Kai took that personally. After I beat his friends, he then proceeds to beat my Vegeta in the first turn, which kinda made me realize I kinda need to level up a bit. So I go and fight my favorite hybrids team. Again, they get the same route, which is a couple times, and then I come back just for Yamcha of all people to kill Vegeta, which is kinda sad. But then I go back again, I beat Yamcha, and this time his double fusions are here to clean house. But on the 4th attempt, I beat him, and all it took was me learning the Fly HM, but it was whatever. I mean, King Kai really rocked me, but for anybody who's ever played this game, whoever's played Pokemon Red, Leaf Green, we all know this isn't the last guy. Now this is where the real hard part of this entire challenge comes down to. My rival has a full team of 6 that are all level 80 plus, and they're basically the best ones you can ever find in the entire game, besides a certain Mon that can evolve to a certain max form, but that's besides the point. This is, in theory, the hardest fight in this entire ROMHACK that has to offer, and I'm just going at it with a Vegeta by himself. He is the wall. My first ever time I get into it, I Zenkai instantly get one-shotted by Luzara, who only knows attacking moves. I try again, Luzara takes me down. I try again, Luzara takes me down. After this, I just have to keep going at it at this point. This doesn't even take into consideration I have to fight the Elite Four over and over and die to King Kai, but he really was the champion at this point in time, and he really did rock me. I mean, there are some points I thought it was just unfair because after I beat this guy, he'll send out his Cell or Goddess to come out and to just take me down, but I just, I couldn't give in that easily. And he just kept rocking me. No matter how much I tried, he would just keep rocking me. And yeah, it felt really painful. It doesn't change the fact that he has an entire team, so even if I do beat Uzaru in my first attempt, I need to try again and again until I beat all of his Mon in 1 to 2 shots. And then when God Raditz has the ability 30, which makes it so I can't one-shot him, so I have to be able to either get lucky and dodge, or just straight up keep going at it until Vegeta is strong enough to beat them. Even when I had a good run going, unfortunately something sad happened. My OBS crashed and it stopped the entire fight, and when I realized it crashed, I had to just reset the entire fight, which made me pretty annoyed since I was actually able to get to his last fighter, but it was all gone. It felt like Vegeta wasn't motivated enough. It felt like he didn't want to win. I needed something to motivate him. Someone to motivate him.
一緒にお風呂に入ってあげないからね
I was able to finish the run after about give or take 1 month. That really should have been a week and a half of just editing and doing the gameplay. I was able to finally release this video. Now, compared to the other two runs, the Nuzlocke and the Gohan only, Vegeta was probably the second easiest. So far, the Nuzlocke is probably the hardest, straight up, if you get unlucky with the training battles. But Vegeta Zenkai is just kind of just OP for this run. You could just one shot, two shot every mon and every fight in the game. And yeah, uh, next one will be the Goku only run. But unfortunately, I'm gonna be leaving to Chicago soon, so that kind of sucks. I could bring this laptop over there, but I don't really trust those airlines. So I'm gonna find this laptop found all the way in New Jersey for Christ's sakes. But yeah, thanks for anybody who even made it past the first 1 second of the video, and thank you for watching.